Your day has found you well today. This is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady over at Let's Talk Strategies.com. Y'all, it's day 44, countdown time, right? We've got just a few more days that most of us are actively doing work, actively doing something in our business. The end of the year is near, and I'm just excited to still continue to show up daily, right, as we go on this journey as successful female CEOs, because I believe that in order for us to see things through, we need to stay consistent and also disciplined. If you're just now joining me, my name is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady. And I hang out, of course, over at one of my favorite places, y'all, and that's letstalkstrategies.com, where I work with those 6 and 7 figure female CEOs to go from overwhelmed in their business to putting it on rinse and repeat. In a nutshell, I'm all about helping you go from strategy to implementation for stability, and growth in your business. So now I'm excited about our topic today, day 44, of course, because we're on yet another journey in this strategic leadership mastery series to be strategic in our business, maintain and that sense of true leadership as successful female um, in business, of course. And I'm all about, of course, helping us master, I guess, in a nutshell, those things that I know we need to be mastering so we can have that growth that we desire to have. Now, we have recently delved into a lot of different topics on this journey on these for these 44 days. Most recent, we went through talking about our goals, understanding, the importance of setting them, but then really looking at our style of how we look at our goals, the ways that we go about things. We even looked at brainstorming and recognizing the significance of brainstorming and how it helps us to really move forward as business owners. But I want to kind of take a moment and talk about something else that a lot of us have found ourselves encountering or feeling some kind of way lately. And especially as we've gone through addressing and looking at our goals and looking at brainstorming, sometimes when we do these things, we can find ourselves feeling a bit overwhelmed. And as I thought about and went back and revisited and listened to some of the series and um, looked at some of the comments that some people have made, I thought it would be important for us to talk about the feeling or ways that we can go from feeling overwhelmed. Okay, because I know as we address the goals and as we deal with brainstorming, some of us can walk away feeling a bit overwhelmed since we've revisited a lot of different things that can stir up, right? The feeling overwhelmed as you deal with goals and as you deal with brainstorming. So today, I thought it would be best to focus our or shift our mindset somewhat a little different in our segment of the strategic leadership mastery. And I want to talk about establishing sustainable growth, but doing it in a way that makes us not feel overwhelmed. Hey, I am Lauren Ballard. How are you? Because let's be honest, okay, when we think about the things that we've been dealing with, because I know it's been a lot. As we set goals and as we deal with brainstorming, we really need to really look at it for what it's really for. It's not just about setting the goals, y'all. When we think about setting our goals and we think about brainstorming, for me, I believe that even while I'm doing these different things, that there should be a method to the madness, right? Because there's a lot going on. Or some type of rhythm as we go through this that resonates with this business journey that we're dealing with. So I thought, since we've dealt with goal setting and brainstorming, and I've been putting a lot of information out here with you, I thought it was time that we circle back and provided you some strategies and some tips that'll help you along this journey so that you won't go into feeling overwhelmed. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's jump in it. Try to look at something, and something here just act crazy on here. All right. Hopefully everybody's on. If you're joining me here on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, welcome, aka X. And for those of you that are joining me as well over here on IG, again, my name is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady. My screen started doing a little flicker, so it just kind of threw me off a minute. But let's go ahead today and let's talk about some real world strategies that can that you can take, I guess, in a nutshell, and implement. Now, I don't like fluff, right? So these are going to be no fluff, but they're going to be actionable steps tailored for you, that female CEO, who are just not thinking about dreaming about the success. I'm talking to the woman who's making it happen, but she is feeling that sense of overwhelm while she's doing it, okay? Because the journey is real. Life is life, right? But we need to understand, as we go through this, we're looking at establishing and growing these successful businesses. But sometimes overwhelm can really, really make you feel like you just want to give up on things. And I don't want you to do that, right? Because we're not just looking at climbing over the mountain and hitting that wall and going around whatever walls that jump up in our face. We want to do this in a way that kind of makes it fun, right? As we go through it. And I know sometimes growing a business doesn't seem fun, right? But I want you to celebrate the tenacity that you have because you're not giving up, right? I want you to make it enjoyable as best you can, and I say as best you can because I'm being real. Sometimes this journey is rough, right? So let's talk about some strategies that I believe can help you go from the sense of overwhelmed as you have addressed those goals and those brainstorming techniques to putting the business on rinse and repeat. So, the first strategy I believe that will help you go from that sense of overwhelm as you go on this successful journey as a female CEO, and that is to reflect back on what worked. There's some things that have truly worked for you. And for me, I found that looking at what has worked as opposed to the pitfalls or the struggles that I run into, because we're going to have that. Me looking at the things that have worked for me has helped me to continue to move forward. So take a moment and reflect on the past year, right? Because we're in 2023 and it's just about over. Hey, Trinity, how are you? Look back at your past year, reflect on those things. What changes did you make that really stuck, that really helped you continue to move forward as a female business owner? Okay. How did those changes contribute to the growth of your business? I'm going to tell y'all, I have been on this journey for some years now, tons of years, a long time. But these last couple years, I've been really shifting and pivoting and doing a lot of things to make sure that I'm really nestled and sitting and operating in this God given goal and dream that He gave me. And so I've had to do some reflecting back on the past because me reflecting back on the past allowed me to keep moving forward and not wanting to give up because some of these changes I've had to make, they've been kind of rough, right? But let me tell you, it's they've been extremely helpful, and it is why I'm finally where I am today. So reflect back, look at your past, look at the changes that you made that have allowed you to stay moving and pushing forward, that allowed you to stick to this God-given vision and dream and goal that He gave you. And then as you look at those things that have contributed to the growth in your business, identify what increased, what it was you did that increased your profits in it, right? Because when you look at, wow, I made some money in it, that helps you too. It contributes to you not wanting to give up, and it gives you that tenacity to keep going. What activities energized you, right? And what was it that made you feel extremely grateful in the process? Because as business owners, even though we are setting up, we're providing services to people that prayerfully can help them launch more in the deep, that can help their lives and their business. But for me, as I show up as a business owner, I reflect on some gratefulness in this thing, because I look at it like this. The people that come to me to do business for them, they don't have to come to me. There's other people that they can go to. So I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to show up and serve, right? That's extremely important. So the first strategy, I am truly encouraging you to look back, reflect on what worked. The second strategy is, listen, do more of what worked. Stop recreating the wheel, right? Focus on doing more of what worked instead of trying to constantly recreate stuff that brings on sometimes a lot of frustration. If there are specific business activities that brought you joy and, of course, some tangible results, focus on that. Consider how you can, in a nutshell, amplify that. I was listening to Myron Golden earlier today, and he was talking about just that. He said the things that help him continue to move forward as a successful business owner was that he stopped trying to recreate the wheel, and he focused on what he did that was working, and he amplified that thing. He put it on rinse and repeat. I know you all hear me talk about that quite often. I'm all about putting things on rinse and repeat and literally working with what works, right? I know oftentimes I've spoken several times about when we revisit our goals, revisit our workflows, revisit our SOPs, and revisit our systems and processes to make sure they're working right. And I encourage you all to look at them, in my opinion, quarterly. And if things aren't working, look and see what you need to readjust, right? And put it out there and test it though. Sometimes it takes more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, right? Because I don't think 2 weeks really, you can really see much. But as you test it, if it didn't work, it's your business. You can go back and readjust it, right? But I found that sometimes we can easily figure out new ways of doing things, and it causes us more heartache than good. So do more of what works and stick to that, right? Amplify it. You know it works. Judge that thing up and make it work for you. Now, strategy number three, and this is one that I really believe that most of us as female CEOs don't do enough of, and that is appreciate your success. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. Walk in it. Entrepreneurs often keep pushing forward without taking a moment to celebrate themselves and appreciating how far you have come. This is a journey that you're on. Listen, if you don't appreciate yourself, you may find that other people may not. So you need to celebrate and appreciate the fact that you've come this far and you have not given up. Stop and look around and put a smile on your face, girl. Do it. Acknowledge your achievements, okay? Feel the gratitude, of what you have mastered. That's extremely important. And of course, as you do it, recognize even the challenges that you were faced with and how they shaped you in the midst of this process, right? I believe that challenges are not necessarily meant to break you. I believe they're here to help motivate you and cultivate some things in your life, right? To help you keep pushing forward and to keep going full-fledged in that God-given dream and goal that he gave you. Okay? Now, the fourth strategy is where I am right about now, even though I'm still pushing forward and moving forward in this, right? I am learning, y'all, to rest and reward myself. These are strategies that I believe are extremely helpful for you as you continue on this journey as a successful female CEO, and to help you go from feeling overwhelmed in your business, of course, to putting on rinse and repeat, but helping you not give up. So when I think about rest and reward, for me, it's not just about the hustle. And you'll find that sometimes I'll use a terminology and tell you, I know everybody talks about hustle and bustle. I tend to not like to use that verbiage, but I know most people use it. And I want to encourage you and make sure you understand it's not just about the hustle. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to rest, right? And when you rest, God will reveal some things for you that will help you along this journey, right? He'll also reveal the fact that, hey, you have truly succeeded in a lot of areas. You put in the work, and sometimes it's okay to rest. Burnout is serious. And sometimes when you burn yourself out, you put yourself in a position where you don't recover well, right? I know it's not, I've had it. When I'm going too hard, too long, and I'm not acknowledging the things that I have achieved, the things that have helped me keep pushing forward, it automatically pushes me into overwhelm, and it pushes me into burnout, and it makes me want to just quit. And I'm not a quitter. And I hope that you're not, right? On this journey at being that successful female CEO, sometimes we have to learn how to press the pause button. Notice I didn't say stop, I said pause. Rest. And while you're resting, reward yourself. Give yourself the credit that you deserve. And notice that as you give yourself that credit, it will make you feel good as you go through the journey. Okay. Now, those are just some strategies that I felt you really truly need it as we have dealt with goal settings, looking at some goals that we may have not met, and looking at ways that we may need to position ourselves so that we can achieve them. And then we went further into brain dumping, brainstorming, all kind of different things these last couple of weeks, right? And we've been going at it now for 44 days. So I thought I would come and talk to you all and provide you with some strategies, because I recognize when we are looking at our goals and reassessing them, and as we go through, brainstorming and ways that we can meet our goals, it can bring on a lot of overwhelm. So I thought I would come and stop by today to provide you with some strategies to help you along the way, that will help you keep pushing forward, and that you won't find yourself stuck at being overwhelmed. Now that I've provided you with some strategies, I do want to give you some tips that I believe also that will complement the strategies that I gave you. I mentioned a little while ago that, or earlier here in this segment, that I have gone through a lot of things these last couple years in my business. There's been a lot of pivoting and a lot of shifts, right? And I believe a great tip for you is to not is to embrace the pivot, put it that way. Okay. Reflect on moments when you felt the shift that you had to make. Okay. And I believe a significant pivot in your approach or mindset that leads you to the positive outcomes is healthy. Quite often, people will say, I feel like I'm just constantly pivoting and not sticking to things. Listen, if it's not working, then you got to make the necessary shifts. Okay. Don't make the shifts or pivot because you don't want to take the time to really, really dig deep in that thing that God gave you. Right. But if pivoting is necessary, listen, approach it with a positive mindset and move forward with it. Right. As you pivot, look at things that trigger you for the positive and for the negative, and address them accordingly. Identify and consider how some of the pivots can help you as you continue on this ongoing journey. I provided you with some strategies, and I want to make sure that we connect strategies with these tips and marry them together. For me, As I did the pivots that I had to take, and I began to incorporate a lot of the new things that I had to do. I shifted from being so broad in the female CEOs that I assist to being very, very focused on who it is that I serve. As a business strategist, I had to go and look back, honestly. Not that I don't work with newbies in the business, but when I talk about strategies and go from strategies to implementation, I found out that a lot of the newbies weren't ready for what I was giving. So I started dancing in a different lane. I started being around other female CEOs and assisting 6 and 7 figure females, and saw that that was my sweet spot for me, right? It was a point I had to pivot. Now I started a little slow, right? Small pivots that allowed me to build the momentum to get to the end goal in mind. And I hadn't turned back from it, right? So as you pivot, sometimes as you go through the process, start small, right? Don't put yourself in a sense of overwhelm trying to jump too fast over into certain areas. Do the necessary research that you got to do, right? And walk through it. And sometimes you may have to connect with other like-minded female CEOs to help you as you go through this pivotal time, as you go through this journey to getting to the next phase of your business. Now, the second tip is one that I believe a lot of us do not pay attention to, or we feel like we don't need to do it. And that is, have conversations with your clients, the clients that you have. And if you don't have any right now, have conversations with people that believe in your vision, your goal, and your dream, and ask them questions about what it is they believe you do best. If you have the clients, right, talk with them. I mean, that's a gold mine of insights, in my opinion. They've worked with you. Reach out to them, engage in a genuine conversation, y'all, and ask them about their experiences that they've had with you. What stood out in your services? And do they have any suggestions that they can offer you to help you continue to show up and serve them well, and to help you not find yourself or not get in that sense of overwhelm as you go on this journey? Because, of course, as you continue to build and grow your business, because that's what we're all about, sustainability and growing our business, you're going to run into different things that may cause you to stumble a little bit, right? But when you go back and you have conversations with your clients along this journey and get those insights from them, you're not trying to figure it out. They're telling you, right? Get that information from them. Ask them to be genuine with you. Tell them, hey, you want the real deal stuff because this is going to help you grow, right? And when they give it to you, if some of it hurts a little bit, don't take it personal. Take the information and do something about it, right? This is going to help you not operate in a sense of overwhelm, and definitely help you not want to give up, in my opinion. Okay. Take those suggestions, take that feedback from them, refine the things that you need to refine, and expand where you need to expand so that you can have that growth that I know you desire to have. Okay. Now, tip number 3, I'm providing you with these 3 tips, you all, that will, I believe, complement the strategies that I gave you. Okay. And this tip for me, which is the last tip, of course, has been extremely helpful for me. Have you all heard of the Pareto principle? It's that 80-20 rule. All right. It's the 80-20 rule in helping you take action on the things that really, really will help you move forward in your business, right? For me, identifying the 20% of your efforts that contribute to the 80% of your success allows you to be laser focused. I used to get caught up a whole lot on what wasn't working. But as I identified the things that really truly worked, it allowed me to kind of push the stuff that wasn't working to the side and put my focus where I needed to focus at. The things that wasn't working wasn't moving the needle, right? So if I knew there were things that I still needed to do in order for me to move forward in my business, but I wasn't doing it well, it wasn't in my wheelhouse, I took that stuff and gave it to somebody else. right? And so I want to encourage you to get laser focused on the things that are working. Get laser focused on optimizing and scaling your efforts. It's going to help you push forward, right? It's going to help you hone in on the good results so you can maximize the areas that you need to maximize and not focus on the brick wall that you're going to run into, because we're going to run into them. We are. We really truly are. And if we focus on the pain points of the things that are not working in our business, and the fact that we didn't meet this goal, we didn't meet this deadline. We had a goal of $10,000 for the month and we didn't meet it. Sometimes you give up. I'm telling you, I was guilty of it. I didn't meet this. I did this. I showed up all this time, and there was something that I don't know why I didn't make, why I didn't meet this goal. What's going on? I'm frustrated. When I shifted my mindset from that part and looked at the fact that I was showing up, staying consistent, and most of all being disciplined at going after that thing, it literally shifted my way of thinking. It shifted my mindset, and it gave me the stick to itness so that I could continue on this journey. Right. I mean, think about what I've been doing these last couple of not weeks, these last month and a half or so. We're on day 44. This journey of showing up live or either giving you guys recording, y'all, this wasn't an easy journey. But because I made the decision, via God's direction, to make sure that I showed up consistently to talk about working with you all on the importance of being strategic as leaders and mastering that that thing that business goal, that vision, that God-given dream that He gave you. I'm going through the same process that y'all going through. I said, God, you serious? You want me to show up for 61 days? What if I get sick? What if the kids get sick? All of these what ifs jumped up, right? But then I had to go back and revisit the goal, the end goal in mind that I had, right? And as I did that, I peeled back the onion layer and I went back to the old fashioned brainstorming. This is why I decided to share brainstorming methods with you all on yesterday. So if you didn't listen to it, go back and check it out. And as I looked at my goals and as I went through brainstorming, it continued to help push me forward and motivated me to continue to go on. But I also had to make sure that I revisited and gave myself a checkup from the neck up, because there was some times where I felt a bit of overwhelm. And this is why today I thought it would be important for me to come back and at least provide you with some strategies and some tips to help you continue on this path, on this journey as a successful female, and encourage you not to give up. Listen, we are just about here at the end of 2023, and I want you to look and find the good in the things that you've accomplished along this journey as a female CEO. And if you feel like you're doing it alone, find some other like minded female CEOs to get with, to hang out with, that will encourage you as you go through this journey. Okay. And encourage you to continue pushing forward and not give up. Because listen, we're going to end this year with a bang, a good bang. And we're going to bring in 2024 in a successful way. And I'm here to encourage you to do just that. So as we wrap up, I want to encourage you again to elevate your wins, right? Look back at what worked for you and put that thing on rinse and repeat. Okay. Don't allow the goals that you've set or the brainstorming sessions that you've gone through to cause you to bottleneck yourself, to cause you to go into a sense of overwhelm. Use that as ammunition to know that it had to be done because it needs to be done consistently in order for you to grow in business. But revisit what worked and run with it. Use that to put your business on rinse and repeat. Stop all this stopping and starting. Okay. Now, I do have a group for you. If you are that female CEO who doesn't quite have anyone that you can kind of hang with yet, like-minded women that you think will help you continue to support and push you to keep going on the path of success as I'm stating you're having. Even if you don't see it, I'm calling you that successful female CEO. And this group is dear to me because it's something that I, of course, set up for you all. And that group is called the Get Your Sass On community. I'm encouraging you to join that community. The way that you can join it is by going to GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. Again, it's GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. I found that we have some female CEOs that when I encourage you, as I will in a moment as we talk about your homework, to share your insights of whatever topics you're listening to on this journey of the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series. I always ask for your insights. I always ask that you leave some comments and maybe, give some suggestions of the ways that you go about doing whatever it is we're talking about on this topic. Today's topic, of course, is evaluate your wins, the power of doing more of what works. Share your insights inside the comment section, okay? But if you're that one who doesn't like to leave her comments or ask questions out in the social sphere, this is what we have the Get Your Sass On community for. You can go over there. It's an intimate environment for you to feel comfortable to ask questions, to leave your insights and share your thoughts. I would be honored to have you over there and going along the journey with not just myself, but with other successful female CEOs. Now, as we wrap up, it goes without saying that we've got a bit of homework for you because I'm all about helping you go from strategy to implementation. And for day 44, your homework is simply this. I want you to go back and listen to this recording, pick one strategy and one tip that resonated with you the most. Okay? Dive into them, implement them, and observe the impact because I believe it's going to be some sort of impact for you. This is not just about learning, y'all. It's about taking that intentional step towards sustainable growth. This is what this whole entire series has been all about, helping you to be strategic in your business and show up and be the leader that I know you are, okay? And of course, to master the skill set, master that business, master your coaching, master your consulting, for master everything that you need to master so that you can have that sustainable growth in your business. Thanks so much for joining me, y'all. I'm tired. I'm getting ready to end this thing at a decent time today so that I can get that relaxation. That one strategy that I provided you or tip that I gave you was all about what? Resting, right? And sometimes we got to press the pause button. And this girl right here is getting ready to do that, right? So share your insights, if you would, please, inside the comment section. Make sure that I would love for you to share what it is you came up with as you pick one of the strategies and one of your tips. And share and observe the impact that it had on you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, okay? Join me tomorrow, y'all, for day 45. We are counting down. The end of the year is right around the corner, and I am looking forward to, again, ending it with a bang and bringing in 2024 successful, right? Already hitting the floor running. I'm looking forward to hearing that from you as well. And we are also going to be looking forward to walking through and reflecting more and more as the days wind up on what it is we're doing and the actionable steps that we're taking so that we can have the success that I know I'm going to have and the success that I know you desire to have. Okay. So make sure you come back and join us on tomorrow. Embrace these strategies and these tips. Okay. And keep thriving. And I'll catch up with you all on tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me here on IG. And of course, for those of you that have joined me over back to back, daily, supporting me consistently over on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, aka Twitter, and YouTube. This is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, AKA the Strategy Lady. Y'all take care. Bye for now.